All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, September 8th. We got ourselves a 10-game MLB slate to dive into in today's video. Like we always do, I'm going to dive into each and every one of these games. I'll give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like in the game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye down on the pinned comment of this video. That'll take you to all of my final plays, so I'm actually rolling with myself. If that does interest you, if you do want to fade me, all of that is absolutely free down in the pinned comments. So we did not have a video yesterday. We were traveling back from the weekend away, but we do have our Saturday recap in which we'll take a cha-ching. We'll pump in some crowd noise. We go 6-1 in that day. Now, I will say that Jackson Churio and Luis Heel over 2.5 walks and over hits, runs, and RBIs were just quarter unit plays, so can't necessarily say that they were the equivalent to everything else. But that plus 190 on the Luis Heel, we will take it. So still a 6-1 night win-loss wise, but it's more like a 5-1 night if we try to equivalent those quarter units to the half unit plays. But nonetheless, a very good night. The Red Sox team total, the most juiced play that we threw into the slip there, doesn't come through, which is kind of crazy there. But guys, we don't have any ride of the day from the weekends. Ride of the days from the weekend, I should say. But if you do want to drop a hashtag ride of the day down in the comments, go ahead and do so. We got a lot going on with football right now, but we'll try and jump on board with someone's hashtag ride of the day today if we do have the time. But what do you say we go ahead and dive into this slate, guys? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to check out our Monday Night Football video that is live right now. But for now, let's talk some baseball. Let's jump into a game number one. We have the Guards taking on the Royals here. Guardians coming off of a 2-1 win, was it yesterday, right, against the Rays. They end up winning that series 3-1. They lose game one, and then they rattle off the next 3 games. Kansas City won their series against Minnesota as well. Now, on the bump here for the Guardians, going to be Slade Ciccone. Still working on how to say his name. I want to say Ciccone, but I think it's Ciccone. We should know by now. Going up against a guy that we've liked backing as of late, right, in Ryan Bergert. Now, what I will say is we're going to see a ton of fastballs out of Bergert and a ton of sliders out of him as well. This is a team in Cleveland that is struggling against the fastball, 30th in terms of runs above average, and 29th, second worst against the slider here. So I do think this could be a good spot for the Royals. I'm just not sure if I want to fully go in and back Ryan Bergert as a pitcher, or do we say that this Royals team can score some runs? So we're either looking at them probably on the money line, because you're getting plus money right now, them on the money line, or a slight peek at maybe like Guardians under 4.5 or under 3.5, depending on obviously what we get. It's probably 3.5 right now. Kind of trusting what Bergert can do, because this is also a bullpen that Estevez, Urseg, Schreiber all should be good to go. They haven't pitched in 2 days out of that Royals bullpen, and this is a Cleveland bullpen that is definitely taxed. So yeah, kind of caught between, not even like a rock and a hard place. It's like caught between a blanket and a pillow. I don't know exactly what I like, but I like something here. It's either Royals or that Cleveland team total under for me in this spot. Ciccone's also kind of struggled at home this year. He throws a ton of fastballs and sliders. That fastball might be okay against the Royals, but the slider, that's a top 10 team right now in terms of hitting the slider. So yeah, maybe it's a little fishy in terms of the price, but I do like the Royals at plus money. All right, next one up here, we have Miami taking on the Nationals. On the bump for Miami is going to be Jansen Junk. He's going up against Cade Cavalli, who has definitely struggled on the road this year. Obviously has some talent, but I feel like we're still waiting for him to really hit his stride. And again, on the road, we have seen some struggles out of him. But Jansen Junk's a consistent, 5-6 innings of 3 earned that he's going to give you. And don't look now, this Nationals team's kind of playing decent baseball. They've won 5 of the last 6 games, including a sweep of Miami within those games. Now, Jansen Junk, I think the last time that he saw them was a while ago, if any. I don't even think it was this year, right? So not exactly sure about that, but Cavalli did have 18 plate appearances against this Miami team during that last series. He went 5 innings pitched, 2 earned, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. Now, we have to throw in the fact that it was at home. Like, his home and away numbers, his splits are very, very different. 2.1 whip on the road this year, a 367 average against. No bueno, right? But I think this Miami offense is kind of coming back down to earth. And we always would say, like, oh, they figure out a way to score. They're kind of hanging around all the time. Not so much. Last 5 games, 5-2, 3-5-2. Before that, it was 0-5, 11, 9, 7. So right before that 0 is kind of what we're talking about. Like, this Miami team, they can get some runs home. I really think that they're just starting to fade into the abyss here. So yeah, I guess we're going to be looking at another plus money spot here in the Nationals. I don't necessarily mind the over in this spot though, because again, I don't know how much trust we can fully put into Cavalli, but I'll lean towards the Nationals. That's 2 underdogs in a row, as well as the over here. So the reason I like the over is because this is a spot in which Jansen Junk does struggle against lefties, okay? And Cavalli really struggles against righties. That's not exactly the hand that you want to struggle against the Nationals. Same thing with the struggling with that hand against the Marlins. So both these offenses may be able to at least put up somewhat of a fight here. I know we just got finished saying that this Nationals team isn't Marlins team isn't pesky anymore or anything like that, but nonetheless, I still do think that we could see like a 5-3 game minimum here, and that would be a push, right? So if we can get an extra run somewhere, something crazy happens, I don't mind the idea of the over. But yeah, Nationals trusting a kid that has some potential against an offense that he already pitched well against. A lot of the times, you know, seeing that offense again kind of hurts you as a pitcher, but I really don't believe in this Miami offense right now. So let's see them score. And like I mentioned, there's a lot of lefties in this lineup today, including I think the first 3 bats, if you include Josh Bell as a switch hitter, are going to be lefties. 291 average against, a 1.32 whip Jansen Junk holds in terms of that. And Josh Bell and I want to say it's James Wood or CJ Abrams, one of the two, also hit the slider well. That's like his main pitch. Now, guys, before we do move on, I have something really cool to talk to you about. ESPN Bet. If you have not checked it out yet, you need to do so. They've already admitted and come out and said that their sportsbook was not exactly the best product on the market last year, but they have changed that. They've done so many things to update it, including Fan Center, which you're seeing next to me right now. You can link your fantasy and your sports betting now, so you can double dip into the players that you really do like. They have personalized parlays and same game parlays and everything like that built off of your fantasy team. Now, this comes from the idea of them truly overhauling and personalizing the book, the homepage, and everything like that from the first point, right? Which is really, really cool. You come in there and they know what teams you like, what teams you're often looking at, and the types of plays as well. If you like hits, runs, and RBIs for players, they'll move that up on the home screen. Really, really cool. They're doing what a lot of the other competitors and books are not doing, which is fully customizing and tailoring it to the individual, which I've saved some time and found a lot of help doing as well. And the value on some of these lines and same game parlays are pretty damn great. I remember even in the NBA season, those SGPs were like unbeatable in terms of odds. So even that from a personal experience was something to head over there for. So go ahead and check it out, guys. Link it up with your fantasy team. I think that's a really, really cool feature. But again, the personalization of them recognizing what you like to go and look at, like for me, first 5 unders are flooded to the top because that's my highest volume market that we've had this season, right? Really, really cool, guys. Again, check it out. That link will be down below in the description as well as the pinned comment. A lot of cool stuff that they've upgraded. And I love the fact that they can be a huge conglomerate and be like, yeah, we recognize that we needed to improve, in which they did. Really, really cool, guys. And they did it all just in time for the NFL season. Again, check it out, guys. ESPN Bet, that link will be down below. I should have mentioned, play $10, get $100. You can 10x that $10 right away as a new user. Talk about burying the lead. Moving on to the Phillies taking on the Mets. Philadelphia coming off of a winning series against Miami. They've won 7 of their last 10, which is a good sign for them in a sense because they've played, I think it's 6 or 7 straight road games. Now, New York on the other side of things, coming off a losing series against Cincinnati, I still do believe this Mets offense is looking good, even though their last couple games here, 2, 3, I mean, they did have 5, but then 2 before that. They've been a little inconsistent. Now, on the mound today is going to be Aaron Nola. He's going up against Nolan McLean. Now, Aaron Nola, check this out, guys. 341 plate appearances against this Mets team. They've seen him to the moon and back. 24.3% K rate, 11% walk rate, mediocre numbers, average against of 279, expected 263, WOBA 372, expected WOBA 352, expected slugging 442. So why do we bring that up? This is a Mets team that has scored runs, like I said recently. I already mentioned I do like their offense, and they're going up against a guy that they've seen plenty of. He's going to throw a ton of fastballs. No better team at hitting the fastball right now. Last 30 days at least, Mets number 1. The knuckle curve, he'll throw as well. They're middle of the pack there. The changeup, they're number 3. The cutter, they're number 3. The sinker, they're number 22. So a little bit of a mixed bag, but you know, fastball and changeup and cutter making up more than 50% of the pitch mix. I like the Mets to score some runs today. But I also kind of like the idea of the Phillies to score some runs. So I'm going to say over. There's a couple eights hanging around right now, which is kind of crazy for these two offenses. I'm going to say over in this spot. I also like the Mets. We didn't really talk about Philadelphia all that much. I do think that this Phillies team is playing really good baseball. They are back at home, which usually, is good for them, but it doesn't look like we're going to have the best of weather. I think winds blowing it's not terrible weather, winds blowing from right to left. This Phillies team, I love backing when it's really nice out. They're at home, going up against the pitcher that they can smash around, right? Nolan McLean has been pretty damn good since coming. I think he has 3 or 4 starts under his belt. He's got like a 1.4 ERA. Dude's been pretty good. I do still think that the Phillies can contribute to this total, though. I see this one being like a 5-4 game. So even if you do have that 8.5, I don't mind it. You have 2 really good offenses right now. You're going to get a ton of fastballs and sliders from McLean. I think combined, it's going to be like a 43% of his pitch arsenal. Philadelphia, 6th against the fastball, 7th against the slider. The curveball is another pitch he throws 17% of the time, 5th in terms of Philadelphia. And obviously, they hit righties really well. They have been for a while. So, yeah, kind of all over the place there. I like the Mets because I don't necessarily like Aaron Nola, okay? That's the difference. The pitcher is why I lean towards the Mets, and I think that their bullpen is a little bit more steady as well. If this is a one-run game, Philadelphia, I love sort of, Duran, and I guess honestly, Duran is the only guy that I really, really like in that bullpen. Whereas the Mets kind of have a little bit more consistency, especially if they need some bulk innings. But nonetheless, Mets and the over. I'm kind of rambling about this one. Oh, I should also mention, I didn't put it on the screen, but Jeff McNeil, we have a pretty good pitch mix rating for him today. He does hit the knuckle curve well, which is one of Aaron Nola's pitches. He throws it more than a lot of pitchers. That is skewing things a little bit, but even if it's skewing it, like, we're going to get this knuckle curve, I think it's like 30% of the time. So Jeff McNeil to record a hit today, whether you want to take it as a straight or add it into some sort of parlay with the over, something like that, that could be something that we consider as well. All right, we got the Braves taking on the Cubs. Now, Bryce Elder is on the bump for the Braves. They've lost 7 of their last 10 games. Elder has started to look good. Now, I do say good with a kind of a cringe because he went up against Philadelphia in Philadelphia and looked really good. It's like, wow, what are the chances of that? Then he went up against this Cubs team in Wrigley and looked really good. Now his next start is against the Cubs yet again. I would worry about him, even though, again, he's looked pretty good. He's going up against Shota Imanaga, who has been very consistent, but not exactly as good as you might think. I mean, he has been allowing like 3 earned. He's pitching deep into games, I'll give him that. But, 3 earned through 6 innings, 7 innings, that type of thing, isn't always the key to success. If he goes 7 and gives 3, I think that we can understand that. But nonetheless, he did just pitch against this Atlanta team in I think it was a 4-3 win for Chicago. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 home runs. The long ball was clearly his issue, right? Which is a little interesting because the pitches that he's going to throw, fastball, the splitter, are not exactly the power pitches for the Braves. And going up against lefties, that's not exactly their power side either. They do hit for average better against the Braves. We're starting to see this now with plenty of data on the year. They're a better average team against the lefty. Did I say against the Braves? Against the lefties. But they don't hit for much power. So if Shota doesn't allow 2 home runs again, I see no reason to not take a peek at a Cubs here at what I would consider a far better team right now at a shorter price of -117. So I don't mind the Cubs in this spot. Yeah, their bullpen, Palencia, Keller both pitched yesterday, but neither pitched. Actually, I think Keller might have, or Palencia at least pitched the day before, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, I still do think that their bullpen is better, even with the amount of taxing that they have in terms of recent pitches, than this Braves team. My concern does kind of come in with the idea of, well, what is this Chicago offense going to give you? I mentioned how the Braves have lost 7 of their last 10. Chicago's now lost 3 of their last 4. They've lost, I think they're 5-5 in their last 10. And they're seeing some pitchers that they're really just not exactly getting to. So hopefully Shota can kind of piece things together and do all right here, and Bryce Elder returns back down to form, because I haven't been the biggest Bryce Elder supporter this season. Last year we really liked him, and he's kind of reminding me in the last couple starts as to why we did like him. But it's all Cubs for me today. I do think that has a strong chance of being a final play. I do worry about their offense, but Elder, if we sense any regression, I got to lean towards that Cubs team total over as well. I'm more likely to pull the trigger on the Cubs money line than I am that team total, because you've already heard me say twice that this Cubs offense could be wishy-washy. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if the Cubs win a low-scoring game here either, right? So I think there's more ways to get to the money line than there is for them to go out there and definitely score 4 or 5 runs. And let me just show you a little bit of what I'm talking about here in terms of why I think Shota should be okay. This is our MLB dashboard, by the way, guys. You can check it out, GuyBostonSports.com. Head to the members area, sign up for the MLB dashboard. I'll load the NFL dashboard so we can get a glimpse of that afterwards as well. But right now, $6.99 per month for this MLB dashboard. So this is what I'm trying to call attention to. This fastball and the splitter should be really, really good pitches for him, right? Fastball, they're not exactly hitting all that well, and the splitter is by far and away their worst pitch. And even down here, you can see the isolated power, they're ranked 25th, whereas they're hitting for average against lefties. So him allowing 2 home runs last time he saw them, I kind of sit here and I'm like, well, if he doesn't do that, he would have pitched a pretty damn good game, right? I think that all the runs are at least, obviously at least 2 of them, I think all the runs, or at least a couple of them, came from home runs. So he could have gone like 6-7 innings of 1 earned baseball had he not let up the long ball. So I do think that it is worth considering here. Now, I mentioned the MLB dashboard. This is the NFL dashboard. Obviously, this is this current week's games, but you can see here really, really cool stuff, guys. If you do want to check out the NFL dashboard as well, same price, $6.99 per month, or you can get the all sports dashboard for $10.99 per month, which if you keep your subscription active, even if we ever jack the price on this, as long as it's active, you stay in whatever price you get at. So go ahead and check it out, GuyBostonSports.com, head to the members area. All right, next up, we have the Rangers taking on the Brew Crew here. Jacob Latz on the bump for the Rangers. He's been pretty good, 1.8 ERA over his last 5. He's not pitching deep into games, but at the same time, he's only allowing I think it's 3.5 hits per game, which is pretty damn good. Strikeouts 4 per game, walking 2, less than a half of a home run per game. So I think we like that, right? Jose Quintana has had more good recently than bad. His last couple starts are a couple blemishes, but Arizona and Philadelphia are 2 fairly decent offenses, right? So I don't want to get, too down on him. I will say that I think runs are going to be the thing that we see a decent amount of in this spot. So the over 8 is what I'm looking at. I almost want to wait out to see if we can get to, for whatever reason, get to a 7.5 if a line comes out. Probably not, but either way, I do like the spot here. Neither one of these teams hit lefties as well as they do righties. Now, that being said, the Brewers are still top 10 in like every batting category over the last 30 days against lefties, but again, they are a little bit worse against lefties than they are righties, but a little bit worse. And same thing for Texas. Now, Texas was on an absolute tear offensively. They've definitely cooled. They went from going 25-9-9-7 to their last 5 games, 3-0-4-0-4. So that's obviously a little bit tough, but I like the fact that they're going to see plenty of changeups and curveballs out of Quintana. They don't hit that all that well. They do hit that all pretty well. The only thing they don't hit all that well is the sinker, which they're going to get a ton of, and I do get it. That could be a little bit of a concern, right? But over here, we're going to see slider, fastball combo from Latz, and 3, 4. We should see some nice action. Terang, Chourio, and Yelich at the top of the order all hit those pitches pretty well as well. So I like the idea of the over. Now, I'm leaning towards the Rangers because, again, you're getting plus money behind a spot in which I do think that this could be somewhat of a 50-50 game. I'm not willing to sit here and be like, oh, well, this Rangers offense has definitely fallen off. No, and I don't think Quintana is all that tremendous, on the road either, and he does struggle against righties. There's going to be, I believe there's like 9 righties. Actually, we have this in our dashboard, don't we? Check it out. 1, 2, and this is updated as the lineups get updated. 1, 2, 3. Look at this. All righties except for one switch hitter, which, by the way, he's a lefty. He's going to be from the right side. So Quintana, who does struggle against the right hand, will be seeing a ton of righties today. So I think this is a good spot for the over as well as a Ranger, especially if it's kind of a shootout, which I'm realizing we're only, 5 games in? We're taking a lot of looks at dogs today. Maybe it's the day of the dog. Comment day of the dog if you made it this far into the video, because we're liking a lot of plus money plays, but there are a lot of kind of 50-50 matchups as well. Another spot that I would consider would be Jake Berger. Berger over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. If we take a peek at him, I really do like his pitch mix here, but you're getting decent odds for a guy that has been known to do pretty damn well, and this is what I like. He's been really good against lefties this year. His average jumps above 50 points, WRC plus, 93.8 overall, nearly 150 against righties. Quintana struggles against, obviously, the right-handed bats. The sinker, he's one of the Texas Rangers that hits that well. The changeup, he hits well. The curve, not so much, but he doesn't strike out against it, which is very good. And even if we look at this, you could see, if he leaves one hanging, which he likes to throw down in the zone, Berger should be able to hit it. Now, I could hit a curveball that gets hung there, but nonetheless, point being, I think Berger's in a, am I saying Berger? Berger's in a pretty damn good spot today. So I know he's not on the graphic here, but I think that could be a lean that we lean towards as well. Over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs from him. All right, Angels taking on the Twins. Don't mind me if we're a little quick through this one. Let me take a sip of coffee with my nice floral cup. Anyways, we got Simeon Woods Richardson going up against Caden Dana. I do think that this is a spot in which we could look at an under 9 because I don't like either one of these offenses. At the same time, do we really, really want to back either one of these pitchers? You know what I mean? If we're taking an under, you're essentially saying we'll back the bullpen, we'll back the pitching over the offenses, which, yeah, I guess is fair in this case, but still, this Angels squad, I do think that their offense is more consistent than they get credit for. Woods Richardson has been a little dicey, but he actually looked decent in his last start before the bullpen got absolutely torched. Caden Dana looked okay in his last start. Under 9 is what I would look at here. We don't even need to put it on the screen. I guess we can just to be consistent. I'd take a peek at the under 9, but to me, I don't think that this is something that really makes its way into the final place. I don't even know where I'd want to go in terms of a money line side. Like, I don't think this Angels team is fantastic. They should be a little bit better than the Twins, but you're kind of paying that exact number, right? I think it's like minus 130 right now. So yeah, you're paying the efficient price of them being slightly better than the Twins, and they're at home. All right, Padres taking on the Reds. Yu Darvish on the mound for the Padres, going up against Nick Lodolo, who, like we've been saying all year long, when you want to back Nick Lodolo, it is on the road. Now, I still think that there's some angle to get to the Padres here. I'm going to lean in that direction, but don't get me wrong. I just think that this offense has a little bit more upside. Now, they're going up against a lefty. I get it. They struggle against lefties. They're just coming back from they were in cores, right? So there's tons of reasons why we shouldn't look at the Padres today. I just don't think the Cincinnati offense is as consistent as I'm looking for right now, so I lean Padres. What I actually really do like is the idea of a slow start from both teams. Lodolo and Yu Darvish pitching well to start the game. So yes, Padres is on the screen right now, but I think I lean way more towards a first 3 under 2.5 or a first 5 under 2.5. Now, Lodolo has, on the road this year, I think in the first 3, he's hit the under in... Actually, I think that we can probably find this pretty damn quickly, right? Yeah, using Outlier, we can actually see it. So Lodolo, first 3 under 2.5, right? When he starts, when they're on the road, 77% of games. 77. Yu Darvish, not exactly all that great, right? At home this year, 1 of 4. But nonetheless, he's gone up against some pretty damn good offenses. Like, exclude Baltimore, you have the Dodgers, Mets, Phillies, and Arizona. So I'm willing to give him a little bit of a break there. By the way, guys, Outlier is what you just saw, my favorite research tool. That and the dashboard, link down in the description, 7-day free trial. But I do think that both these pitchers could do all right, and I think all we need is all right to start this game. You have a righty on the side for the Padres throwing. The Reds, struggle against righties. He's really good. Yu Darvish against right-handed bats. There's a bunch of righties in this lineup today. And then you have Lodolo, who's really good against righty bats as well. San Diego's struggling against left-handed pitching, and they have a decent amount of righties in the lineup. So I think 2 really good spots for the pitchers today. I like that a lot more than the Padres side. I just think this Padres offense has more upside. Even though they do struggle against left-handed hitters, I think they have a few better names in the lineup that can kind of turn things around like that. But I'm much more, like, if I believed in that, I wouldn't be too much. I wouldn't be into the first 3 and first 5 under, right? So I think that those are definitely spots which I'm considering a lot more. All right, Mariners taking on the Cards. We'll probably blow through this one. I would say it's Mariners as some sort of a parlay piece. They have Brian Wu on the mound. I like him a lot more than I do his opposition. Miles Michaelis pitching for St. Louis. Wow, I just let out the biggest of sneezes that like rattled my entire brain. So let's get through this game pretty quickly. Then I have to make sure my eyeballs are intact. Miles Michaelis has been pitching well, but he has some really poor numbers against Seattle in the past. Brian Wu's been pretty damn consistent. Last 5 starts, 2 flat ERA, 7 strikeouts, 1.5 walks per game. He's looking pretty good, right? Throws a lot of fastballs. They don't touch the fastball. Throws a lot of sinkers. They don't touch the sinker. Should be a good spot for the Mariners. But again, you're paying a hefty price tag for this squad right now, which makes sense, I guess. You know what I mean? St. Louis hasn't looked all that tremendous offensively, but they've actually won a lot of, they've won a lot of games recently. And Seattle necessarily hasn't, but they've played 9 straight road games. You're telling me the Mariners don't come into this one being like, finally, we're back at home. Let's beat a team that ain't all that good. Whereas the Cardinals, they probably sit there like, oh, like, here we go. We're a really good team. And now they're about to get smacked in the mouth type of thing. So not exactly my favorite matchup. Would be Mariners parlay piece if we want to touch anything here. Giants taking on Arizona. Logan Webb on the bump. He's going up against Nabil Crismatt. Logan Webb has some really good numbers against this Diamondbacks team, and he's seen them a ton. 129 plate appearances, 19.4% K rate, sub 5 walk rate, expected batting average against 249, expected WOBA 277. Crismatt has some mediocre numbers. I mean, 5.6 to 16.7, not exactly the best ratio there. I think this spot's going to be a Giant spot, but I don't think that they go out there and absolutely tag up Crismatt too much. He's going to throw a lot of changeups. That's like his main pitch right now, at least recently. And guess what? This San Fran team really does struggle against the changeup. So if you can get an under 8, I don't even mind the 7.5. Obviously, you just want that more of a ceiling number there. I don't think this is a bad spot. But yeah, San Fran, you can get them. I know the odds on the screen say minus 186. You can get them in the minus 160s right now if that's something that, tickles your fancy. But Giants in the under are probably 2 spots that I look at in this one. Not sure of how much of like, fine-tuned look we give, because I could also see the Giants going out there and be like, oh, well, let's just score some runs off this guy, or he's going to walk a bunch of guys, which you don't want to do against a San Fran team, right? Because they're not exactly a great walking team, but they'll hit you in if you get guys on base. So a lot of question marks in this one. All right, second to last game here, we have the A's taking on the Red Sox. On the mound for the Red Sox, Garrett Crochet, which is obviously why these odds are where they are. He's going up against Luis Morales, who, like I mentioned last time he started, is pretty good. I mean, his worst start was last time out, and it was 5 2/3, 2 earned, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk against St. Louis, right? Like, the guy's a pretty damn good pitcher. I think that we can give him that credit. I think he's like 3-0 this year with a 1.59 ERA. As a AAA player, he had way worse numbers than as a starter in the bigs. So whatever. Hey, you do you, man. But Garrett Crochet is a different animal, right? And this Red Sox offense is an offense that I obviously believe in as a Red Sox fan. I like them to score some runs today potentially, but realistically, I think Garrett Crochet is the way to go backing this one. So I'm going to lean towards the Red Sox. I like them -1. I also really don't mind them if you want to get behind, the Red Sox first 5 minus 0.5. Chapman and Whitlock, their setup and closer went yesterday, but no one pitched the day before. And I would say Garrett Crochet is kind of the upside here, right? So maybe it is a first 5 play. But I don't mind getting to this Athletics bullpen and leaving them out to dry and the Red Sox potentially hitting. The other spot, which is one that I think we should really consider because you're getting plus 124 right now, the A's to go scoreless through the first 3. Why do I say this? Well, this is kind of a fan play, but it's also having your finger on the pulse to some degree. Garrett Crochet, a very, very good pitcher, as we know, got shelled last time out. Shelled. He let up he let up 1 million home runs against the Guardians. Somehow the Red Sox still won that late in the game, right? So I think Crochet is the type of guy, there's a few guys in this league, pitchers-wise, that you feel like, and Chris Sale was always like a really good definition of this. If he had a bad outing the night before, or the start before, he's going to come in with like this added intensity. I don't mind that against a really, really young Athletic squad. So yes, again, it's kind of a feel play. It's because I'm a Red Sox fan and I watched how pissed he was after that, but for plus 124, if this is like minus 105, then yeah, it's probably not worth it. But for a plus money little sprinkle on him to go out there and shut this team down for, 3 innings, I don't mind it. So maybe it is a little bit biased, but I do like the spot. Crochet has to be pissed after last time out. And you guys get what I mean, right? Like, there's pitchers, I say he has to be pissed. A lot of guys would be like, oh, I'm pissed, and maybe they're a little out of control or something next time out. There's a few pitchers, Scooble's in the category, Crochet's there. A lot of these guys, or a few of these guys, I should say, a handful, you feel like when they're pissed, they're just going to pitch better because they're like a FU type pitcher, right? So, yeah, I think Crochet's in that category. Watch the, the Athletics go out there and score 15 runs in the first inning, and I'm going to be like, what a good look at. That was a good call. All right, ending it with a banger. Just kidding. We got the Dodgers taking on the Rockies. Dollander, who's actually been okay on the road this year, going up against Tyler Glasnow, who's been very, very good at home. This one, I guess, simple enough. Dodgers as a parlay piece. I don't really think that we should be trusting the Dodgers. Now, I don't have the DMB graveyard because we just got back the updated graphic, but this Dodgers team, I do think should have a role or have a spot on one of those headstones based on how they've treated us. We've lost like our last 3 Dodgers plays, but as I was thinking about it more, we were cashing them earlier in the year. So it's like, what have you done for me lately? I guess it's weighing a little bit more than what it was earlier, but nonetheless, I still think the Dodgers could be a parlay piece today, just in terms of, you know, them being a way better team with a way better pitcher on the mound. They have a better bullpen, a better, like, we know why the Dodgers are better, right? So that's probably what we look at. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's show. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, go ahead and leave a like on the video. Let me know your favorite plays down in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Tons and tons and tons of content coming out here on the channel, which I'm super, super excited about during football season. We're going to close out MLB as the season progresses. NBA is going to be coming back. Like, we got a ton coming on the channel. I'm so damn excited, but I'll leave you guys with that. I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.